trade union. Who are trade unions? What are trade unions? What do they do? Trade unions are organizations that are set up to protect the interest of workers. So we have the teachers' trade union, we have the doctors' trade union, we have the farmers' trade union. Whatever union it is because they want to protect the interest of those workers, especially their members. Do you understand what the trade union is now?
Yes.
They are organizations that are set up to protect the interest of workers who are their members. Clear, right? So what are the aims of trade union? Number one, negotiation of working conditions and pay rise with employers. Because the employers will employ you, they employed you already. So whenever you have to negotiate, because you are a member of a trade union, you need to be a member. So because you are a member of a trade union, the trade union will act on your own behalf to negotiate a salary increase with your employers, to negotiate good working condition. That means they want the environment to be conducive, the working environment to be conducive. They can negotiate with your employers. This is what they do. So, provide legal protection for workers in case of unfair dismissal or discrimination. If you are not being treated well at workplace, the trade union would fight on your behalf. Is it clear? Or if you are unfairly dismissed, the trade union would fight on your behalf. The third one, provide financial benefits when necessary. So the trade union would also help you financially. Maybe you are out of job. Anytime you get a job, or maybe you need to do some training, they would help you to finance your training, so that you can become attractive to employers. Is it clear? Any questions now?
No.
Are we sure?
Yes.
Attractive to employers. You know, when you have a good training, when you are skilled, you will be attractive. Employers will want you. That's what I'm saying. Is it clear?
Yes.
All right. So the power of trade unions. The trade unions have the ability to influence government decisions. They have the ability to influence government decisions, not only even businesses. So because of their power, they have so much power that it affects businesses. So whenever the business does not say yes to them, they come up with different, ways in which they can halt or stop production, like strike, industrial action. Are you guys with me?
It's legal.
What? Legal? It's legal. They are trade unions, they are pressure groups, so they have that power. But these days, the power of trade union has reduced. How? Because there are new laws that have come in place to reduce or to limit their power. Example are one, the secret ballots. So it is important, it is necessary, it is compulsory. Before a trade union can go on to strike, they would have to go into election. Members have to vote secretly. So when you vote secretly, if the majority says we should go on strike, then they go on strike. But if minority voted to support the strike, they will never go on strike. So it becomes illegal to go on strike because the majority do not support it. So the trade union will not be able to act unless the majority supports their action. Yes?
What's a strike?
Strike means stop working, stop production. You're not going to be there. They will close down the office. That is strike. So production will stop for that time. Is it clear?
Yeah.
The second one, allowing businesses to sue the trade union if they don't obey the law. So if they don't obey the law, businesses can sue them for going against the law of the country. The third one, making closed shops illegal. So you must not close shops. You must not close businesses. Because before now, trade unions have the power to close companies. But now it becomes illegal. You must not. It has to be legally accepted. That means the government must authorize it before you close shops. Is it clear?
Yes.
Any question about that?
No.
Effect. So, the effect of trade union on wages and employment. Because the trade union have that power, they have the ability to influence decisions of government, decisions of businesses. Whenever they negotiate with employers, if they win the case or they win this, if the situation is won by the trade union, what happens? Wage rate will rise. Do you get the point? Because they know how to negotiate, because they have the power to negotiate with employers. Whenever they do any negotiation about wage increase, wages will rise. So employers will have more wages to them. This would make employees will have more wages. This will make employers to stop employing more. Do you get the point here? Whenever negotiation is done by trade union to increase wages for workers, most of the time, if they win the situation, if they win, wages will become high for employees, which might not be affordable by employers. So what can employers do? They might not be able to employ more. They might not be able to employ more. Do you get the point?
Yeah.
If wage increases, employees will be happy, but employers will be worse off because their wage cost has increased. So as a result, they might not be willing to employ more workers. So at that point in time, the demand for labor would fall. Do we get it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So here, that is what about this. So they said, so then there are some situations that would allow businesses not to lay off workers if wage rate increases. You know, when wage rate increases, workers will be paid more, which might be a cost incurred for businesses. But if these situations occur, businesses would not need to stop their workers. What are the situations? Number one, labor productivity increases at the same time. If the trade union is negotiating for wage increase, at the same time, workers are doing more, then it is okay. We are doing more, then we should get more. So there won't be any complaint. Do you get it? Do you get it or not?
Yeah.
Two, if firms are able to pass on wage increase to customers by increasing the prices of their goods. So if the wage rate increases, firms might be able to pay them if they can increase the prices of goods and services.
Yeah.
The third one, if employers are able to reduce the cost of wages, if by any way the cost margin or the profit margin is not that far, that means they are still making profit,
Yeah.
they would leave the wage rate like that. Is it clear?
Yes.
So we can graphically represent it this way. Before the trade union comes into place, the wage rate will be at W1. So the equilibrium wage rate is this. This is the equilibrium wage rate.
Before what?
Before trade union will negotiate.
Okay.
So if the trade union negotiates, the wage rate will increase from W1 to
The W2.
W2.
Okay.
Wage rate
Because the trade union has negotiated.
Yeah.
At this point in time, the supply curve for trade union, that means the supply of labor or the supply curve for labor would slightly stop, would reduce. Because firms will not be willing to pay more. Do you get it? The quantity of workers firms will be willing to employ will be less. They won't be willing to employ more.
What does it have to do with the supply of labor?
I'm talking about here.
Okay.
Here. The number of workers firms will be willing to employ will be less. So it will fall from QL1 to QL2. Do you get the point here?
Yeah.
Because the wage rate has increased, firms will not be willing to employ more workers. At that point in time, the supply of the quantity of labor needed by workers would fall from QL1 to QL2. But this does not stop them from paying workers. Because with this graph, the quantity of workers available in that firm is from QL1 to QL3. Here, firms will have to pay this amount. If the trade union negotiates for high increase of salary, firms might not be willing to employ more workers, but it is difficult for them to take away workers. So that means they have to pay as W2 to all the workers between QL1 to QL3. That is why it is elastic here. Is it clear?
Yes.
Do we get it or not?
Yes.
Wage rate has increased because the trade union has negotiated. So from W1 to W2.
Yeah.
At that point in time, the quantity of labor needed by firms would fall from QL1 to QL2. At that point in time, there will be slight change in the supply of labor because firms will not be willing to employ from SL1 to SL2. At this point, the difference between the QL1 and QL2 is elastic. It's horizontal, which means firms do not have any other choice than to pay all the workers between QL1 to QL3 the same W2.
Yeah.
But new workers will not be coming in, but they have to pay from this one to this one. Any question about it?